Aura. It's a very specific quality that makes an idea contagious. It has to be simple to understand, but at the same time extremely difficult to describe. In philosophy, these ideas manifest as topics like God, consciousness, and free will. In the present day, aura has solidified itself among these giants, ideas whose true natures seem to be inexpressible. That was until now. I present to you the mechanics of aura. Aura, put simply, relates to how cool something is. If you do something cool, you gain aura. If you do something uncool, you lose aura. That doesn't just pertain to people, but objects too. If an object has a cool quality, it can be said to have aura. This sounds simple, but it gets a lot deeper. If you slip over in front of people, you'll lose aura. But what if nobody sees? Then the flow of aura depends only on your self-perception. And what about different types of aura? Sometimes we refer to aura in a qualitative way, saying someone has villainous or nonchalant aura. Other times, it's quantitative, and we simply say someone has gained or lost aura. So what's going on here? The main difficulty arises from the fact that the idea of aura is used in contradictory ways. It's seen as a quantity, but it's also rooted in perception. This video is my attempt to reconcile these apparent contradictions to one coherent theory. I call it the mechanics of aura. Law 1. The quantitative and qualitative duality of aura. There are actually two slightly different versions of aura. The first one is sheerly quantitative. I'll call that Q1. The second type is a qualitative aura, which I'll denote Q2. They have similar qualities, but slightly different mechanics. Q1 has magnitude. It can be positive or it can be negative. It's just more or less, bigger or smaller. It's a sort of absolute aura associated with standing in the social hierarchy. In fact, it's almost entirely a quantification of movement throughout the social hierarchy. If you gain Q1 type aura, then that's always going to be a positive thing. Q2 is slightly different. It can be thought of as a vector quantity because it has direction and magnitude. Someone's devious aura can extend from being slightly devious to extremely devious. The direction is the same, but the magnitude is different. Q2 relates more closely to social perception of how closely somebody embodies the idea. The idea can be anything from the concept of deviousness or the concept of gothicness. The closer someone is to representing the pure, undistilled version of the idea, the higher the magnitude of their Q2 aura in that direction. So how do Q1 and Q2 relate to each other? They're often correlated, but not necessarily. Higher Q1 indicates higher positive popularity, or in other words, status. Higher Q2 indicates higher general popularity, or presence in people's mind. This distinction forms the basis of the mechanics of aura, and from now on we will be dealing predominantly with Q1 type aura. Law 2. The relative nature of aura. Both Q1 and Q2 are rooted in perception, but not everyone's perceptions are the same. What if one person perceives an increase in Q1, quantitative aura, and another person perceives it as a decrease in Q1? This could be a result of cultural differences. Is the subject gaining or losing aura in this situation? Initially, I thought you might just add their respective Q1s and use that value. However, some people's perceptions are more important than other people's. I mean, what are you going to lose more aura from? Tripping over in front of the president or tripping over in front of some random homeless person, for example? That's because the difference in their positions in the social hierarchy, so it's dependent on their respective Q1s. Hence, I have created an equation to sum this up. The equation goes something like this. The change in quantitative aura that you get from people perceiving you doing something is going to be equal to the perceived change in aura of person A multiplied by their aura value, plus the perceived change in aura of person B multiplied by their aura value. And all of this is divided by the sum of their respective auras. So what this sum is basically saying is that we multiply by each observer's aura value, so that people with higher aura have more highly weighted opinions. Interestingly, from this equation, we can see that if one of the witnesses has very negative aura, or just any kind of negative aura, which would mean they're very unpopular, then their perception of aura gain actually reduces the resultant aura that you get. This basically means that someone uncool thinking something is cool makes the thing less cool. Law 3. The nature of aura in a closed system. Aura functionally quantifies people's perceptions of various subjects. This does beg the question though, can aura be infinite? If not, how does it cap out? We see aura as a substance entirely dependent on perception. Even the idea of an object possessing aura without perception has its conceptual basis in the human, hence the hypothetical aura is still rooted in perception. No people, no aura. This shows us aura is directly determined by the number of people. The maximum aura is dependent on how many people perceive something. In a closed system then, where we have a fixed number of people, there is a maximum and a minimum aura. Aura is technically conserved because even if aura is lost, there's a latent potentiality to regain it, sort of like kinetic and potential aura. A closed system of aura refers to a system of n people. An aura is to be conserved in a closed system, since the max and minimum are fixed quantities. This video is my initial attempt at a theory on the mechanics of aura. It's still in its developmental stages, so if you feel there's something missing or I've explained something wrong, then please do leave suggestions in the comment section. I'd be more than happy to see them. As always, spread peace and love. This has been Jack.